thing. Have you heard about it yet? The Welfare for Healthcare organisation. It's a Just Giving page, actually, that's been set up to support the Worcestershire Acute NHS Foundation Trust. So they've been putting together food parcels for staff, raising money to do that. And now they have a new sewing challenge. You might have heard about it on The Breakfast Show this morning with Tony and Elliot. Well, let's get a bit more lowdown, a bit more information and background from the lady behind it, who is actually the wife of the Bishop of Worcester, John Inge. I spoke to HJ earlier on. HJ, welcome to the show. Lovely to speak to you this evening. Now, you've been no slouch since this lockdown. Lots of people are knitting, twiddling their thumbs and gardening or not getting dressed all day long, but not you.
Yes. No, I'm afraid I'm my own worst enemy. And I am known to be a bit of a doer. So, no, I couldn't sit still. It didn't seem right to be just sitting at home, even though we were told to do so. And I kept thinking, how can I help? In fact, I wandered around for 2 or 3 days thinking, this really doesn't feel good. So, to put my skills or something to good use. What then unfolded? What did you do? I'll let you tell me.
It
was actually about 3-4 weeks ago that I was talking to my friend David Wilson, who's a cardiologist at Worcester Hospital, about the spread of the virus coming out of China. Now, China's my sort of business niche, and so we were watching what was happening there, and we could see that the crisis was probably going to spread to here. And so in anticipation of that, I asked David, how can we help? What can we do to help NHS workers? And so we came up with an idea of providing food and drink and maybe some toiletries. And then suddenly I was involved speaking to the head of fundraising at the charitable trust and also to various other people in the wellbeing team at the hospital. And they said, we're just going to need all sorts of things, food and drink. And so we started the fundraising through what we set up, Welfare for Healthcare campaign, and via Just Giving. And it seems to just keep changing as the landscape changes in the hospital and actually across the country.
Right, so this is developing as we go along, the Welfare for Healthcare. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So, for example, today I was asked if we could leverage or mobilise the man with a van, courtesy of lambs removal companies, and that was a brilliant idea of a friend of mine called Nancy, who said, look, removal companies aren't going to be doing anything at the moment. Maybe they could help with deliveries. So Lamb stepped in. We went to collect a whole load of Easter eggs that have been actually gifted by Mars Chocolate Company. There are 1 million chocolate eggs across the country, wow. And 10,000 came to Worcester. But not all of the workers are in the hospital. They've been deployed out to some of the cottage hospitals around the county.
Right.
So we moved 400 eggs to Pershore, Evesham, Kidderminster and Tenbury Wells this morning. So that was fun. So I was actually, I was out on the roads.
Actually hands-on on the front line doing it.
Yeah. But I tell you what, a lady called Gabby, who I then met later this morning, the other SOS was for a whole load of hospital scrubs that have been delivered through the NHS supply chain. They were ordered weeks ago. They've just arrived, but I think just because of what's available, Worcester received sizes XXL and XXXL. And
right.
They are ginormous.
So you could potentially get two sets out of each one.
Well, I tried one on today, and I think I could have fitted 3 of me inside. I mean, they're enormous, and doctors don't normally wear scrubs, apparently. They wear their own clothes. But in this crisis, everyone's having to put scrubs on. So there is an extra need. So the call came out, could we, with our volunteers, find any seamstresses? And amazingly, I rang the Worcester Mothers Union. I got in touch with St Stephen's Church in Barbourne. And then through your show this morning at breakfast time, we've got volunteers in Malvern as well, and I can see the hills from where I'm sitting now. So hello to them. There are people in Powick as well who have got their sewing machines out and are cutting and re-sewing hems and making these fit for purpose.
This is it's quite phenomenal to think that official NHS scrubs, that because of the demand for them, I suppose, we've only got these massive sizes, that just normal people in their kitchens or on their dining room tables in their front rooms are here giving up their time and skill to do this for the hospitals.
Isn't it so heartening? It's amazing. I love it. I was so energised today. And you know what? I'm sure you're the same, Kate. Everybody is just feeling, what can we do? And just seeing it there were signs out on the roundabout just by the hospital, thank you, NHS key workers, we love you sort of thing. And it's true. And of course, there are other key workers in other key industries who are keeping the nation afloat too. But we are so indebted to the staff on the front line who are looking after our loved ones in really difficult and challenging and exhausting times. So when I saw Gabby today and picked up those scrubs, she said, "Oh gosh, every cloud has a silver lining, and this is just amazing." To think exactly as you've just said, wow, there are people out there doing this on our behalf. When she said we didn't even think that they would be any use to us, so it's really great.
Turned out well then. Look at that. Everybody beavering away across the county to help our frontline NHS staff get the necessary clothing they need and not to waste anything, not to cause any more delays, etc. That is just the community at its very best, isn't it? Lovely to speak to HJ, who is behind the Welfare for Healthcare, which is organising all of this. Look it up online and you'll be able to get direct access to their Just Giving page where they're busily raising money for food parcels for NHS staff as well. There are many strings to their bow, so join in.